This is Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, and this is a great song to sing to as you strum along. The first thing we're going to do is learn the chord you're going to need to play the song. The first chord is called G5, and the way we make the G5 is we use our third and pinky, third finger on third fret second string and pinky on third fret first string. Then we're going to bring our first finger over here to second fret on fifth string, and then our second finger to third fret on sixth string, and we strum the whole guitar. Should sound like that. Next up is D, and as we move to D, we can leave our third finger down on the third fret on the second string, and then we're going to move our first finger to the second fret on the third string, and our second finger to the second fret on the first string, and for this one we're going to strum 4 strings. Should sound like that. Next one is C. To make the C, we start with our first finger on the first fret on the second string, second finger, second fret, fourth string, and third finger, third fret, fifth string, and for this one we're going to strum 5 strings. Next we have A minor. To create the A minor, you're just going to take your third finger and pop it over here to the second fret on the third string. And really the only move in the song to A minor is from C to A minor. So all you need to know for this song is just pop your third finger over there. And lastly we have E minor 7, which is really similar to the G5. We're going to leave our third and pinky up here on third fret on second string and first string, just like we did in G5. Then we're going to use 1 and 2 as if they were kind of one unit here, and put those to the fifth string and fourth string respectively, and we can strum the whole guitar for this one. And it should sound like that. So there's all the chords you're going to need to know for Wish You Were Here. Let's move along and learn the song. By the way, if you need chord diagrams for these chords to help you remember them, you can get them at Rock Guitar Power. There's a great open chord tutorial that Mike Deary has put together, and just refer to that if you want to know a little bit more about open chords. Let's go now and learn the tune. Okay, the opening riff to the tune goes like this. And here's how we're going to do this one. We start with our hand in the G5 position. You don't really need to have your first finger there because the second note of the riff is an open fifth string. And these notes are picked individually. I'm going to do another shot of the flat picking for you in a minute, but for now I really want you to pay attention to my left hand so you can see what the moves look like over here. Starts with the third fret sixth string, second finger, moves to open fifth string, and then we're going to hammer our first finger onto the second fret of that string. So we got this. After that, we're going to pluck the open fourth string, then second fret fourth string, and then our chord. Now if you want to add a little depth to this, you can actually go to the E minor 7 chord, something like this. Which can sound really good if you're playing it as a solo acoustic type thing. So if you want to add a little more depth, use that E minor 7. Next part of the tune goes like this. And what I did there is I used first finger on 2nd fret, 4th string, then open 3rd string, back to first finger here, 4th string, and then open 4th string. So we got this: 2nd, open, 2nd, open, then our chord. And the next part just repeats what we did the first time. And then we repeat the second part again. Next up, we have the same as we did for the first riff. Our descending is going to be a little bit different here. We're going to go 2 on the 4th string, then open, then 2 on the 5th string, and then open. And then we're going to have this chord here, which is our 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string and maintaining the G5 chord here. So we have just like the beginning. Then our other riff. And they do that twice. And then it wraps up like this, which is open 5th to 2, back open 5th, and our G5 chord. Okay, here's the chords to the verse. You might want to get a pen and paper out so you can write them down as I go along. The verse is just comprised of the chords we went over earlier, just in a different sequence than we went over them. And it all starts on C. Then it goes to D, A minor, G5, D, C, A minor, and then G5. And during the verse that repeats twice. So I'll go through it again for you so you can get these chords down and get the sequence down on paper to help you remember it. It's going to go C, D, A minor, G5, D, C, A minor, and G5. There's a little bit of a strum to this that we'll cover a little bit later. It's basically an ad-libbed or improvised strum, meaning you can make it up as you go along. Okay, here's the chorus to the song. You may want to get out a pen and paper to write down the chord sequence because it's a little bit irregular. Not really a pattern here, it just kind of fits the vocal melody. And it all starts on C. Then we're going to go to the D, A minor, G5, then D to C to A minor, and it ends on G5. We'll do that one more time for you. It starts on C, goes to D, to A minor, to G5, to D, to C, A minor, and it ends on G5 with a little thing like that at the end, which is a C2 chord to a G5 chord. You can see there my fingers don't move much, they just move 2 strings over and then back. So let's play it with the music, and I'll shout out the chords as we go, and that way you can see how my hand moves as we play it. Okay, here's that little guitar solo you hear in the beginning. It's all down here within the first 5 frets, and it's going to start like this. You're going to start with your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and slide up to the 4th. And then put your 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So we got something like this. Then we're going to move our 3rd finger up here to 5th fret 2nd string and go, which slowly is 5th, 2nd finger 4th 3rd string, and then 1st finger back on 3rd fret 2nd string. So we got this. Then we're going to take 3rd finger, move it over here to 4th fret on 3rd string, pull to 2nd, pull to open, and then pluck open 4th string. So that little move looks like this. Then this, which is 1st finger, 1st fret 5th string, slide to 2nd fret, and then 2 open 4th strings. After that, we're going to do this little slidey maneuver here, which is 1st finger on 3rd fret, 1st and 2nd strings, move it up to 5th fret, and then back to 3rd. So we have a slide, back to 3rd. And then we're going to have a D chord type shape here, but we're going to make it with our 1st and 2nd finger and play it on the 2nd fret and move it up to 4th. And back down, and then open up the 3rd string. So we have. Then we're going to do it again, except play the last note 2 times, so it looks like this. Next up, we're going to have something that is exactly the same as the beginning. And then we're going to have, which is 5th fret bent with your 3rd finger, pull to 3rd, and then 2nd finger here on 4th string and back to that. So we have, then down to 2nd fret with your 1st finger, 3rd string. This is really fun here. Then a bend on the 4th fret. Bring 1st finger under to 3rd fret. 3rd finger to 5th fret. Another bend. And we relax it down here on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So that looks like. And finally it wraps up with this. Just like the begin. Which is just like the beginning. Except at the end of it we have a bend on the 4th fret, 3rd string. Release it down to 2nd fret, 3rd string. So we have. And when you put it all together, it should sound something like the recording. Okay, I want you to get a good look at how the right hand flat picking works with the intro. So here you might want to keep a close eye on my right hand. I have the left hand in over here so you can kind of see those notes too, but the object of this one is to give you an idea of how the single note picking goes. Just keep an eye out here as I pick through the strings. I'm starting on the 6th string. See how my pick movements are very small. Moving over to the 5th with our hammer on and 2 pick strokes here, then our strum. And with the strum we keep it nice and loose, just like that. And when we go to the next part, individual picks again. Nice loose little strum. Then we repeat it. Notice how I have just small little pick strokes. Next part that's up all picked notes. So that should give you some idea of what your right hand picking should look like when you approach this. Now on to the strum. Okay, here's our strum to the song. Keep an eye on my right hand here. I've got a little bit of my left hand in the picture too, so you can kind of see as I change the chords. But the primary interest here is our right hand. And the strum I play goes something like this. And slowly what I'm doing here is I'm going down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And I think that's probably a mouthful to say as I strum it, let alone an earful to catch as you try and perceive it. So this is a strum that's better heard and felt than it is really analyzed down to every little up and down strum. But what you want to do is accent the first couple beats and fill out the last couple beats of each measure with these little filler notes. See how I accent the first couple, fill it in. Accent the first couple, fill it in. And also, as you change chords, you want to coordinate it with a downstroke. See how every time I change a chord here, it's a downstroke. So that should give you some idea of how to coordinate the strumming with the song. Let's go on to the next part of the lesson.